All right, hello Divine Feminine, how are you? So I started doing a reading and I almost never do this, but it just didn't feel right. And so I cleared my energy and I cleared my decks and I chose a new deck. And we're going to start again. I will take into account what I saw. And I'll let you know. Look at that, though. That definitely was some of the things I was seeing. You know, I will say at the center of that reading was a death in reverse. And it just felt like it was going down a road that we didn't really need to go down right now. So I really want to ask a different question too. It's like, what does a divine feminine need to know about what's going on in this connection? Oh, so interesting, because the royal wedding in India, I just had watched a thing about how the peacock is a symbol for the divine. And then I also posted a thing that said about dimming the light. And so this is a very interesting thing here. Let it shine. The feminine has clear out the clutter, which is 28. The masculine has overcome any obstacles, which is definitely what I was just seeing. He's overcoming some obstacle. And then the fox spirit here is 27. So think on your feet. I'll say that there seems to be a desire on the masculine's part, at least to appear that he's overcoming obstacles. Has he really overcome them? I'm not sure. And that's kind of why I decided to leave that reading. It's because I don't really like readings where you're guessing. You know, it was a guessing feeling of like, it did feel like there was some deceptive energy on the masculine's part. Okay. So this is a very different reading here. And obviously I asked a different question. This was the first card out in that reading though. I think you're having less concern. Okay, I get it. There's a beautiful path for you opening up. And it does feel like the masculine may try to, I mean, I don't know about you, but I do know that for me, when there's a very intense trigger in this relationship, it takes a very long time for me to move. And I can feel that movement just started to kind of come back. And like, I look at 10 of Cups, Chariot. That's my feeling. It's like, and I feel for the first time in a long time really happy about the freedom and the ability to actually think about something else. I think the masculine's really been maybe not doing things for the right reason. And you're rising into more self-love, more I think it's a place of neutrality about this relationship, honestly. I think you've like neutralized some of your strong emotions about this relationship. It's like the energy I get off these cards is much more solid than his state of being. And yet you want to move forward from a place I feel like you've been stuck for a long time. And this movement is very magnetic to him. It's like he is in King of Wands reversed energy. And I feel like at the end of this, or at the there's like a process of awakening going on here. And like, I know that term is really overused because it's not like we continuously live in a dark night of the soul, but for him, he's understanding that really what he thought relationships were is not what they actually are. And I think he's been waiting for a really long time for what he can now see is a very immature situation. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it's like you get what love is from examples, right? From your parents or whatever. And you try to go and find love in the way that you know it to be. It's like you kind of replicate that probably pretty toxic relationship. And one day you wake up and you're like, when you're on the path of awakening, you wake up and you're like, oh, it doesn't have to be this immature, petty, kind of codependent, overly emotional situation. So we have two really strong cards right here of pause, reflection, inward work. One's in the external and one's in the internal. And kind of going back to the other reading, I saw that there was like a false front of like, he was presenting, oh yeah, I'm better. But on the inside, he really wasn't yet getting better. And now I see there's really, oh yeah, I am working on myself. But he's doing that for the sake of maintaining hopefully a relationship that he comes to see as actually not really worth his time. So when I see you, for those of you who this is resonating for, because I felt like it was extremely specific, and I feel like this one's very specific too. So maybe it's just a couple people here that he's saying, oh yeah, maybe he's saying, oh yeah, I'm done with acting like that. I'm done with that situation. I'm done with this bad habit. I'm done with, and in his heart, he wants to be done with it. But it takes a period of recognition and actually separation from something else, till he really understands like why he actually wants to be done with it. Like, you know how somebody, I don't know if you've ever been around someone who has like some narcissistic tendencies or whatever, wants to be in control of the relationship. If they sense that something's going on with that other person, they'll like take control and they'll break up with them first, or they'll move away from them first, or they'll make it seem to like keep everything in aligned with their ego that they were the ones that moved away, when really that's not the case. And I feel like that's what's going on here, is that I don't feel like this is a separation with you. Like, I feel like you're not, I feel like you are just kind of finally having this moment of happiness and clarity, and that is kind of creating, in a karmic situation with him, a break. And because you're pulling farther away, and this is all energetic, this isn't mental, like this isn't he feels very confused, because I can tell you, because I feel confused, and I didn't feel that way before I started reading. Yeah, look at that. We haven't had that card come out in a long time. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, wow. Those are some crazy cards right there. With the crown chakra. And then look at, he's so attracted to you right now. It's crazy. It's like, whatever you're doing, working on yourself, it's just calling him in like this beacon. And yeah, look, see underneath, it's that death card. It's not the death card, it's like mourning, you know. The death card in that deck for me is the rainbow. So I do feel this is a big pivot point, a big turning point, a situation that's like, he really understands here that there's something more. There's something much more complicated and advanced and much more meaningful to you and to the situation than he could process before. I feel like he's just being elevated, like an entire floor. Like, I don't know why they're showing me like an elevator, just going up one floor. And it's crazy that, you know, what they're saying is like, you, from the ground, from when you're on the ground, like a mountain seems gigantic and obstacles in front of you seem very huge. When you're in an airplane, they don't seem big at all, right? So I feel like whatever this karmic situation is for him, he has wanted to get away from it for a very long time. It's the way you feel about him and this situation. It's like it had a lasso on your heart holding you back for so long. Just symbolically, it's like something switched in you and you're like, oh, I'm gonna move forward no matter who's with me or who's without me, or no matter with or without him, or I don't care who's coming with me, I'm gonna do what I need to do. And I feel this like Chariot 10 of Cups energy is huge energy. And you may not feel huge. You may feel like I just a couple of days ago had this like feeling of happiness I hadn't had in a really long time. Just being. It was just being. And I was like, oh, wow. I haven't felt this level of just being happiness in a really long time. And it wasn't because I wasn't trying, and it wasn't because I wasn't happy. It's because I didn't feel fully in control of my own movement or being. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily movement, but it's like, I don't know exactly how to put it, but it's like, okay, I'm ready just to be happy. And anyone who's had like the twin flame, compulsive, obsessive thoughts, and has tried their hardest to get them out of control. I mean, to get them in control and to get out of feeling or of thinking, overthinking, constantly thinking. It knows that you can't do it through your mind, right? You have to surrender to what is and just be like, this is what is. This is what is. And that sounds like when people would say that to me in the beginning, I'd be like, what are you talking about? That makes no sense to me. And now it makes sense to me because I've done it. But it wasn't through trying to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? And someone brought up to me yesterday that they had felt like there was a certain level up that the feminine is going through. And I agreed, and that I feel like we've gone through it for the most part, but that there were forces coming to fight or hold down now. I know that people into spiritual warfare really get into it, and I'm not saying it's not a thing. I am saying I think you really, really have to be very meticulous with your vibration in terms of your alignment with those sort of things. I do practice protection, like energetic protection, and I think that's a really good thing to do. It does look like here there will be some kind of event. I don't really like the word test, but you can use that if you like it. That will kind of let you see that you are ready, that you have overcome, and you will get this it's falling out, healing. And then deja vu fell on the floor. I mean, these two cards are really beautiful together because it indicates that you will be. So I have tears coming out of my left eye, which is for the mother side of your things. I think you will probably be triggered regarding a mother wound again, and you will overcome that, and you will see that you are, if not fully healed, most of the way there. I feel very strongly that he will reappear in your life. Yup. And then disappear again. And this will be to see how you can hold your vibration. Okay, that's what they're trying to say. So we have healing. He's being suspicious. Sphinx energy, which is the most wise energy in this deck. I'm planning to surprise you. So he's doing this in a very, very thoughtful, methodical way, okay? Healing. Oh, I did that. I still have your shirt and I wear it. Venus energy. You see through my mask. Kisses. Ether. Body vibes. You're too beautiful. Gold. So ether is like this, the fifth element, right? Magician. Sun. Ho'oponopono. I looked up twin flames. I wanted to call on your birthday. Two joining together. Man. Really align with the good that you seek. I use the violet flame because I don't think you'll see this coming. I'm scared you'll leave or hurt me. Scared of what their family will say. Seeing signs. So he's being shown a lot of spiritual energy. I feel like probably your synchronicities have gone down. That's generally how I find it to be. It's like either you're getting a ton or he's getting a ton. Sometimes it's both, but it's pretty rare. And like at the same time. I really feel this is going to come as a surprise to you, whatever is going to happen here. He really wants you to see, or for it to appear, that he's different and that things have changed. I don't think it's all the way there yet. I feel like it started and the desire is there. And he desires to be near you, especially if you feel energetically like you've liberated yourself a little from the stranglehold of it, right? Like the trappedness of it. Yeah, it's like kind of giving me a picture of like a wild animal in a net, which like as they struggle, they just get more and more entangled. But if they just lie flat, you know, and not move, there's less entrapment. I don't know why they're giving me that. We'll find out, I guess. They're saying like having your intention be good is important here. Because he's going to really try to be, I don't really want to say that. He's going to try to get away with anything he can try to get away with. And I think intuitively, you really feel that this is coming. I mean, these are the most intuitive cards besides Steel. This is just, I mean, look at how beautiful that energy is. This card I don't love, but it is talking about the structure that you've built and reinforcing that structure. Making sure that it's solid, right? You're solid all the way up to your crown. That the healing that you've done is, you know, you have the third eye here too. And this is the Empress card for me. You know, he's going to come to you and tell you how much he misses you. I just can't get over these cards, honestly. It's such a beautiful set of cards. Intuitively, I think you know he's going to come to you and he's going to tell you how very sad he's been. I mean, 5 of Cups in the Strength reversed. It's a very interesting energy where feel like he may be using vulnerability to try to get what he wants and be like, saying all the things you want to hear. Does that mean he doesn't feel things for you? No. Is he being really vulnerable? Possibly. So let's ask why. Let's ask why is he doing this? Like, what does he hope to get out of this? Or what will change? Yeah, look at, that's crazy cards right there. Not sure this is the right deck to answer this question, but he feels something inside that he doesn't feel comfortable really talking to anybody else about regarding you in this situation. And I think he just thought it would go away. Power. Look at strength reversed again. Sacrifice. Material and spiritual prosperity. I knew that red hand card was going to come out. I don't really want it. Transformation. Look, death in reverse. Fertility. That's the Empress card. Disconnect and boredom. Deception and envy. Triumph. Throat chakra. Truth. Yeah, it's not entirely the truth here. They were making this very clear. They want you to know you're going to need to use your discernment about what is going on with him. Can you give me more on what this means? I mean, I'll say you're a prize, right? That is the death card. He's like resisting the transformation. Can you give me more information about why does he want, oh, look what fell out. He feels this love, but he just doesn't know what to do about it. Do you want me to keep him like this? That's my twin card in this deck. Magician, look, control, crown chakra. That's an interesting card. Look at how much mirroring is in these cards. I don't know, he doesn't really want to accept that he's the spiritual being. He doesn't, you know, it's interesting because the Hanged Man is Pisces. Pisces is a card of sacrifice, right? Saturn is currently in Pisces, creating mayhem there. Just kidding. But he feels this interconnected weaving of your guys' life. Like, he can't escape from you. And again, it's almost the same thing. It's like the harder he tries, the worse it gets. And it is doubly kind of hard for him because he doesn't really believe in these things yet. Or it goes against something he believes, is a better way to say it. I think he's surprised that you haven't reached out. I think he's confused that you may have reached out, but stronger. Like, there's something here. It's like you say you wanted this and you didn't fight for it. And that made me confused because I really wanted to know if you felt the same way I did. Take it with a grain of salt that this relationship made me feel very out of control. It made me question what was going on. I this is interesting. I know you wanted me to change, but I really didn't want to. And I kind of resented that fact. Like, I kind of resented the fact that I had seen, this is kind of the full circle moment. I had seen my parents try to change for each other, or my dad try to change for my mom, or something like that. And it's something about the loss of control, or the loss of the relationship. It's like it didn't work. Flirt, pay attention to the red flags, make the effort, chemistry, getting to know each other, wedding, reconciliation. There's a fear of unrequited love here. I think still, love yourself first. It is safe for you to love. Love doesn't feel safe for him. Or you, I don't think. There's a desire here to know love in its totality. To get to the bottom of this chemistry, to really know each other. It's like, I do feel he wants to know you. And there's magician energy all over this reading. Like, we have double ones here at the end. And part of him thinks he's smart enough to outsmart anything or anyone, or even spirit. It's like he just keeps going with the mind power, with thinking he can outthink, outsmart, outmaneuver, without actually doing the spiritual work. So I do feel like you're going to have to trigger him again. I do see 2 periods here of separation. Now, the second one's kind of different because it seems to come after the fact that he really believes that you're this one soul. And that's a really big step for people to take. It's like surrendering to that, you know, when you're kind of going back and forth on, is this really a twin flame? Am I crazy? You know, you can talk yourself in and out of all sorts of things. But what always returns is these recurring thoughts, right? It's like you can talk yourself out and be like, this is, you know, my attachment style. This is limerence. They're doing a spell on me. I'm, you know, not so. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can look and find. But in the end, it's like, it comes back to, you can't escape this feeling of that you've known each other before, that there's all of this chemistry that's unlike anything else you've ever felt. And you desire to have a reconciliation, but you're so triggered. Like, you're more triggered than anything else you've ever felt. And it's because of this love here. It's because, like, in, you know, in your heart, like behind that, it's like the heart feels the intertwining past life, all of this, all these feelings that you just have never felt before. And he feels all of those things. These green. He feels all of those things, and yet he doesn't really have the spiritual basis on which to stand, because that part hasn't been integrated into him yet. And you may have to integrate the really, like, the end of the 3D. You know, if he's getting triggered, you're getting triggered too. And there is a possibility that some of you have done enough work that this doesn't have to be a really huge separation again. So just know that it's kind of, all journeys are different, and some twins just are better in full separation, and some are okay with it in, out, back and forth thing all the time. Generally, what I see is that even if you're like in each other's lives daily for a while, or weekly, whatever, you will have a period of separation. Is that an absolute? I don't know. I was told that was like the one thing that had to happen, but I don't even think that's true, honestly. Because it's the soul energy. This isn't 3D. Okay, so show the world a real you, full moon in Aquarius. Hold your vision, fixed moon. Your dreams need a practical plan. So that one is for you. Full moon in Taurus. Surrender to the divine. I hardly ever say things like this. So this is full moon. Your commitment is being tested. Expect powerful change. So death card in this deck. Eclipse. Eclipse is coming in March. Luck is on your side. New moon into Sagittarius. There's a lot of protection around you, but you know, eclipses bring powerful change. And in the other reading, there was the Tower. I feel it would be wise for you to make practical plans. And that means in the physical world, that aren't based in fear, but are grounded in reality. It seems to be a thing here that you're growing in your responsibility in the 3D, and he's growing in his responsibility in the spiritual world. When they say your commitment is being tested, I really feel like it's your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your healing journey, the things that you've been like, right? We feel like we've healed so much, and when that happens, at that point, that's when you're triggered again by your twin. So I would expect most of you to be getting triggered by your twin, and for it to be a pretty big event in your life. And intuitively, I really feel like you know this is coming. You know, if you've had a period of boredom and stagnation in your life, it's so hard when you have a period of boredom and stagnation to be like, oh, I'm really enjoying that there aren't triggers and there's nothing going on right now, right? A lot of us that are being prepared for leadership, which is many of the twins, are in isolation right now. And that in itself is very challenging, because we have to learn to live without a lot of things. And through that process, we learn to let go of almost everything. Because it's a process of gaining so much faith and self-love and courage to be who you are. Like, look. So I was just looking at this again. Let it shine. And you have Lakshmi, bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. You know, she's fully in the water with her 2 elephants. And then he has Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right with that golden heart. And then the boundaries. Love yourself enough to say no to others. Demands on your time and energy. Bottom of the deck is abundia, prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So gorgeous energy there is that I don't think the Lakshmi cards ever come out. And that's a card of divine blessings. They are telling you, again, like I told you in this, is that you need to remember your boundaries. Can you hold this vibration you've worked so hard to get into? And remember, it's not working with your mind. It's not thinking about it. It's actually like being it. We have Kathumi, the Cloak of Wisdom, Charity, Prayer and Contemplation, Dwell Cool, Dharma Unfolding. Bottom of the deck is Joan of Arc, Voice of Truth. Stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. So you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. He has connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. And then remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. You have black tourmaline protection, which I talked about. And I'm going to give you that one too. Shine with ruby. He has animals, chrysolite, and then trust, prehenite. Animals may be helping him trust right now. Together you have Pneumite, healer, and rose quartz, inner child. Bottom of the deck is gratitude and music. So you can work with these crystals. This is black tourmaline and ruby, chrysotile and prehenite, and then Pneumite and rose quartz. Or you can call those into your energy field. You can ask that they attune you to their frequency, however it is. You can look at them. I don't know if people do frequencies for crystals, but they probably do. You have Death card, Rainbow Dragon. He has the Sacral Chakra Orange Dragon. In the middle is Crystal Yellow Dragon, which is a very wise card again. Bottom of the deck is again a card of animals. Sunshine Yellow Dragon helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. Okay, you have brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. I'm sorry, I said Death card, and this is the full card. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. He has bring souls, families, and communities together. Spiritual belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. And then together you have expand your crown chakra for illumination. Walk a higher spiritual path. And again, we had all of those purple cards. That was very much that energy. So you are being called to consider your spirituality in making decisions. And you have sacred union, honor and treasure your relationship for it's truly sacred. He has healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel the relationship being healed at this very moment. Playfulness, laughter is the best therapy. Have fun together. Remember, love is the greatest healer. And together you have my beloved, that we may be physically apart. Spiritually, we are always united. For love transcends space and time, and nothing is missing. So thank you for being here. Oh, it's 4444. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on my posts. It really helps everything. And if you want a reading, it's in my Etsy store.